What do you mean there's no reason? What did I do to that person?
There's a bigoted sentiment saying that the Jewish people are the only people on this planet who are disliked for no reason because we're so special.
I didn't say we're not the only one that we're disliked, but we are so proportional, based on our size, we are the most
Incorrect.
hated person. Look at the UN. Look at the United Nations.
Hey, I want to become a Jew. I just got a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, Jewish people have like immense power. Like, you guys are like super powerful, so that's why.
No. That's a trope. You see, you're saying
It's not a
something that's
trope.
wrong.
It's not a trope.
Okay,
How is it a
let him
trope?
finish.
It is a trope because there are many people
Bernie, don't
that
be
are
offended. Just let him
because there are
Let him
many
finish.
Jews
Bernie,
who
come
do
on,
not
man,
have
let him
immense power,
Yeah, but
who
you can't-
struggle in life, who work,
Let him
Well,
raise
our-
finish.
communities,
look, our
and raise
culture-
families. Not
Don't write him off. Let him finish. Let him
Look,
finish.
Bernie, let him finish,
The,
man.
the
Come
whole
on.
Western world is like Judeo-centric. Anytime I go to like a Christian church, all I talk about is Jews, Jews, Jews. You got talk
Okay,
about
that's something else.
It's like Jewish people created like the Bible. They wrote the Torah. They're pretty much, our entire culture is pretty much created by Jews. So I'm just like, you know what?
All right.
If everyone, they're
I'll
all
tell
they
you, I'll
care
tell
about
you.
is Jews, I want to become a Jew.
Okay. That's actually a healthy way to think. However, you have to ask what made Jews, from that perspective, so influential. Okay? And it's essentially the Bible. Not atheistical Jews, because atheistical Jews are infamous for other reasons, which is like not a reason you would want to join the
He
Jewish.
wants to convert to Judaism for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
And
That's
he should
the best
not
reason.
be he should not be converted.
Hold on.
They're the ones with the power.
Right.
Everyone-
No, we don't have the
That's you
power.
making
No,
it-
that is incorrect, sir.
Wait,
genuine desire.
hold on. If we have the most accurate ethical belief system out there, I'm not saying perfect, but the most, that means we have the power. Whether we want to use it or not, we can't claim to worship
No,
the only true God
Hashem
and
has the
claim to be
power. It is through the love of Hashem and
Obviously,
Jews are
discipline
the
of
most influential.
It's a Jewish
that
phenomenon.
makes us successful. It
One
is the
second,
Torah
I
that
just
makes
wanted
us
to ask that
successful.
gentleman, when you say we are powerful, how do you mean that?
He just wait.
Had
This
the
is
most
what we're
influence. He
discussing.
wrote all the books. Like, who created communism? Who created
Okay,
the whole
all right,
Bible?
hold on. I mean, that's
Even
a negative.
Muhammad-
No. And see, he's going off that
All
comment.
right,
You know,
okay,
he's going to
fuck
call
record.
Marx and stuff. No, this person.
gonna
no,
have a
he should-
discussion with Puerto Rico.
You should
I'll
not
bring you
be.
guys-
You should not. You should
Who
not.
created communism? Who created
Okay,
the whole
all right,
Bible?
hold on. I mean, that's
Even
a negative.
Muhammad-
No. And see, he's going off that
Jesus.
comment.
All right,
You know,
okay,
he's going
fuck
to call
record.
Marx and stuff. No, this person.
gonna
no,
have a
he should-
discussion with Puerto Rico.
You should
I'll
not
bring you
be.
guys-
You should not.
I'll bring Bernie and Alex back up, but I really want to have this discussion. Okay. In terms of communism, yes, we are influential, right? But that's from a different perspective, because that collective that was so disproportionately influential in creating any sort of socialist movement, social democracy of the time, the Red Scare, was one that was antithetical to the Torah. And that is really what you don't want to be a part of, because you would essentially be on the wrong side of history. However, yes, it's true that Jews, Torah-keeping Jews, are special if they follow the special God. That means the individual moral training that appears in the Torah. That is essentially why we should proudly say that we stand out. Okay, now the idea that people dislike us for absolutely no reason is a bigoted way of saying that we're superior, right? If people are singling you out for no reason, for absolutely no reason, you're the only people who are disproportionately disliked, what you're saying is that you're different than anybody else, right? And that just builds resentment, obviously. And this is not what the Torah teaches. The Torah does not say that we're going to be disliked for no reason. As a matter of fact, it talks about being liked, the nations wanting to emulate us, and saying what a wise and discerning people, i.e., that they would want to join us, which is why I think you inquiring, because of the influence that I believe religious Jews have had on this planet, and that as a reason to join them, I think it's perfectly healthy. The idea that someone wants to join a religion simply because they want to worship God, I think it's stupid, okay? If you don't know anything about the God of Israel, why would you want to worship him? However, if you see the individual moral training laid out in the Torah, lived out through a people called the Jewish people, that is what makes them influential. That's what makes them ethically relevant in this planet. Then for sure that should be the best reason to join them, because of the results of keeping that Torah. The idea of just believing and loving God, whoever walks around saying that I believe in God and I love God, but doesn't know anything about the results of keeping the will of God, we don't worship the same God. So I welcome your inquiry and your interest into Judaism because of how influential Jews have been, but not regarding communism, because we're
Well,
influential from a negative perspective also, and I think that only hurts us and not helps.
Jews just play like a leading role in everything that interests me. Like I worked for a bank for a while. I found out the CEO of UWM, he's Jewish, right? I was looking into Chat GPT.
Yeah, but that has nothing
Sam
to do
Altman's
with, okay,
Jewish,
that
and
has
so
nothing to
anything
do
I
with the
look at,
religion, man.
there's
That has
always a
nothing to do with
Jewish
religion.
person
Most of these people are
that's
irreligious Jews.
involved and influence with it, that helped influence it. So I'm just like, you know what? The Jews are pretty much the standard bearers.
Okay, well, I mean, from that perspective, it's negative, meaning the vast majority of Nobel Prize winners, yeah, may be Jewish, but they're not religious Jews. So
Yeah, but it's like the community as a whole bands together, whether they're religious Jews or not.
incorrect. That's incorrect. That's a lie pushed by a lot of Jews on TikTok. Religious Jews have nothing in common with secular Jews. By a lot of Jews on TikTok. Religious Jews have nothing in common with secular Jews. Real religious Jews call secular Jews Gentiles. The problem is that secular Jews, especially on TikTok, will try to speak in behalf of all of Jewry because they speak the loudest and say that we're all united. While religious Jews cannot stand secular Jews, and they hate them representing them or speaking in their behalf. They have nothing in common with them. This idea of this brotherhood is something that only secular Jews utter, or Jews that are confused on TikTok and they're easily intimidated by the secular. But ultra-Orthodox Jews have nothing and want nothing to do with secular Jews. Nothing. And actually blame secular Jews for the bulk of their problems on this planet. So, but this is something most people don't talk about. But yeah,
Yeah, I never heard that.
fortunate to distinguish between people who misappropriate your religion and people who actually uphold your religion. But yeah, I mean, converting to Judaism for those reasons, I think I mean, it's a
Also,
bit trivial.
there's kind of a mystique around Judaism because there's lots of stuff that you guys learn that we don't learn, like in Christianity. Sure, we have the Old Testament, which is kind of like the Tanakh, but you guys have like Kabbalah and all that mysticism,
okay,
and like I don't know anything about it, and I just kind of like I'm been curious about it.
All right, so I don't endorse the learning of Kabbalah. I think that if you're trying to build a relationship with God, that has to come first and foremost via the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and then everything else is secondary. Everything else is there to strengthen that initial connection that occurred within the 5 books of Moses. But anyways, Guy, thanks for stopping by. Follow me and I'll follow you back. Bye. Alex is back. Sorry. I mean, I just had to get it out before everyone just sort of gave him what I think is bad information.
Yes, but I hope that you don't think he is a candidate for conversion, because he is not.
No, okay, so right now, because he's bringing down, I wanted to hear him talk. Like, if someone wants to join the Jewish people because they're so prosperous and they're so liked and they're so ethically influential, without even mentioning God, I'll be like, welcome. If someone says, I love the God of Israel, knows nothing about Torah, but just is infatuated with metaphysical, I would consider that trivial, right? Believing in God tells me nothing about that person ethically. But if he admires, that's what the Torah says, by keeping hukim, the commandments in the Torah, the nations of the world are going to inquire and say, what a wise and discerning people because of our behavior. It never says because of our God. And then once they realize that we're acting out the will of the Creator, that's a proper way to approach the God of Israel.
But it's the Torah that gives us and makes us a wise and discerning people. And the Torah comes from God.
That's exactly what I said. You know. Yeah, but I mean, how are Gentiles going to know that? Gentiles are only going to know.
The thing is that they're going to know it through our behavior.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
And
all they know.
through our actions.
You know, so, and through our prosperity. I think if people live upright lives, they typically are more prosperous on this planet. So they're going to ask, what's the secret of your success? Well, let's see. I don't work 7 days a week. I have a commandment to honor my parents, to fight evil, all of the above. Yeah. These are probably better reasons to join Israel than just I love God. You know?
Yes, but a lot of people convert to Judaism just because, they see the wealth of the Jewish people and they want to become wealthy. And that's not a good thing to convert to Judaism for.
I think it is. I think it is.
Just to get rich? If
what made the person they're admiring wealthy is Torah observant, I mean, I think it's a quite masculine way of thinking. It's saying, I want to be where you're at. Tell me what I have to do. Worship God, keep Shabbos, keep what I am, honor my parents. I'll do it. This is how an entrepreneur thinks. There's something wrong with that. The idea that you have to fall in love with the God of Israel in order to convert, I show me results. I mean, show me the money. That's fine. I think God admires that even more than someone who has a crush on him. It just sounds weak.
Well, what if that person should become a, Rahman al-Islam, an Apokores? They come and then what?
I mean, what if someone who just comes down because they love God becomes an Apokores?
What you just said, let me understand this.
Yeah.
You said if somebody like this gentleman wants to convert because he admires how successful Jewish people are,
Right.
powerful or financial, that's an acceptable reason to
Yes.
accept
Yes.
him.
Yes.
Without him, that's the basis is because he sees Jews as successful.
Yeah, but
Not
that's
because he
what
wants to follow the Torah or follow the laws, Hanalacha, none of that stuff.
We're
And
saying
you-
what drew him. In order to convert, he's going to have to follow the rules that made the Jew he's admiring successful.
You did not one time in that whole thing make that clear in any way, shape, or
That was
form.
implied. I think you got to
Yeah,
common, as Asher would say, common sense is in order here. Of course, that's what he's saying.
I was saying that what makes it
No,
special is the Torah
that person
observance.
had no idea. That person still has no idea what it takes to become a Jew and follow the rules.
Hold on, Bernie.
Oh my! What?
You became Jewish by accident, okay? I don't think.
No. Please don't. No.
What?
No, woman. I explained to you. Yes, I was born into it, but I did my own self-searching research and come to a belief that I believe in wholeheartedly, whether I was into it or not. Just like many people go through that time. So just to say I was born into it and have these opinions based on that is totally wrong.
What that means is that
Go through that time. So just to say I was born into it and have these opinions based on that is totally wrong.
what that means is that being Jewish means nothing. It's what you do with your Jewishness, right? So if someone's
Yeah, okay,
inquiring,
of course so. Of course it means nothing if you don't do anything with it.
obviously,
But you can't. But if you are, and you follow the halacha, and you want to bring people into the fold, you can't give them, okay, take these points because we're successful.
no, that's not what he's saying. If we tell them why we're successful, right? As a matter of fact, this is the Torah standard. The Torah standard is that the nations will inquire because of what we've become, because of our behavior, i.e., and the results of behaving in such a manner. They're going to inquire and say what a wise and discerning people, i.e., that we should want to join them. It never says they're going to fall in love with me, stam. They're going to fall in love with me via our behavior and the results of that individual moral training, i.e., our success. So the idea that I'm going to bombard him with laws and he doesn't know, anything, theologically, no. I'm going to tell him for sure.
I think you should not have been quick to the trigger. Of course, I would accept you. I think you have to have a different discussion with that person not on TikTok.
So now we have to go back to Hillel. So when the guy comes to Hillel to convert, he comes under false pretenses. Convert me on the basis I don't believe in the oral law, that you make me the high priest, and that I learn all the Torah while standing in one foot. Hillel says, fine. He converts him, and then he teaches him it and realizes, right? He makes him realize where he was wrong. But if from the beginning, he would have took the Shammai approach, which is, I think, the approach you're taking, and hit him in the head and said, don't waste my time, I think that he would have lost the convert. So,
first of all, that's not my approach. My God. My approach is, yes, everybody is welcome, but under the right pretenses.
Yeah, but
You guys are saying the same thing. You're just getting caught up on semantics and whatever. You're saying that everybody ultimately, in the ikar of it is, of course, people are going to follow it because it's the truth and